The Spirit and the Mystic. Introduction of the setting and the spirit, a prison of the spirit, ever watching pass by the living world. In room 305A, on the third floor of a building standing tall like a castle, she waits. An old 19th century hotel turned insane asylum, then abandoned, nestled deep within the sunny hills of the San Fernando Valley, becoming a century later into what it is now, a 3-story building of 36 soundproof rooms retrofitted into recording jam studios. A lockout space, a sanctum for musicians, her metaphysical prison, a chamber of dark spirits. The only remnant of her physical form, a single shard of bone, locked in the center of a bloodstone, a relic of ancient power and maliced spirit, belonging now to a tortured, wandering, power-driven mystic who seeks her. She calls to them, wandering mystics and musicians alike, to feed from them, to capture their souls and regain her strength. Patiently she waits, spider demon weaving her web, their trap, her freedom. Exploration of the spirit's nature and hunger. What makes a spirit to exist? How does it go on, and for how long? Living, but not alive. Being without form. Does it hunger, and what for? Such sweet nectar does it yearn, and such substance feed upon. How through fang, through stomach and mouth of the soul, how hungry must it be to feed deeper, growing darker? Its power a virus, ever-wanting parasite, laying eggs in the spoiled bellies of its prey. The spider, always wanting, cannot feed. She is the dream stealer, maiden of first light, first daughter of the earth, of Lilith, first wife of Adam, daughter of the fallen garden, born of the flesh made physical, born of the virtues of Tifereth beauty, the child 8 legs, 8 branches, the center, the I am to connect all paths of the Sephiroth of the tree of life, born Jehovah Eloah Vadath, Lord of knowledge, the healer of God, of the angelic host Malachim, the kings, the celestial sun, her place of power, the mountain of the soul, a majestic king, a child of virtue, of reverence, nurturing, compassion. Though every virtue has its vice, as 2 sides of the same coin, exiled. The fall of a sacrificed God in devotion to the great work, whose virtues lay rot in abandon, turned vice, distorting into false pride, arrogance, weaknesses revealed, self-doubt, insecurity, irreverence, and blame. Wallowed in the corners of the earth, growing in a darkness that never sleeps, she waits, left forgotten by a father's new devotion to the new sons of man, of a new wife, Eve. Sons of a new earth made to inherit the world, built atop a tower of cindering bones. A reverence to the old blood is broken, betrayed by a humankind, a hierarchy of sons, a bloodline of men, a bloodlust of glory and power. Conquest, to dominate and conquer. Gifts of the first mother Lilith, land of the first earth Gaia. Dragon of mountain and stone, of molten churning in a cage of flames, buried at the center, banished by a man hiding in the shadow of his shame, of his nakedness, hiding in blame. She is the yellow rose, the holly tree, the spider, Elbmerp, shadow maiden, left burrowed in the holes of a deep forgotten world, buried in shadow, longing for what she was denied, an eternal strife and burning for a time that came never to be. Glory lost, lay vanquished by the will of man, by the first man, vulnerable and weak, small, naked little man, neglected by God, negligent father, deadbeat dad, man-child, loser, fucktard. It is not him she cries for, but for the return of an ancient mother, lay trapped in a sphere of fury and rage, hollowed in the center of the earth, crying in silence. She waits. Through death became spirit, through scorn became demon, lost in the eternal longing for love, left wanting in the shadows, feeding upon the very light of life itself, human soul fire, barren of its own, nestled. The demon spins her web, webs of hate, alluring its prey to come, to stagger and fall into a matrix of webs, her trap, a spiraling descent into further darkness, as the fall of Adam, a sovereign dethroned, once lord of the highest crown Kether, now stumbled, beaten, bloody, ragged on the ground, blaming the woman, blaming God. running in fear, running, ditching, deserting, his first wife, his first daughter, and all his children of Lilith, pulling out, dumping out, flying the coop, dirty little chicken. Along a shadowed path, the mystic walks into further darkness. Through fog and mist his steps are certain. The trail lay clear before him, invisible to the eyes of an untrained Magus. The sun has yet to rise, the ground has cooled in the night. A single gust of wind howls, crackling through a vastness of trees. Subtle creature sounds fill the stark black air. The serpent of first light, the morning star, slithers slowly and eventually across a barren sky, insidious and silent. The blue of a new dawn steadily ascends. Glimmering rays of infinite light arc and rush forward with timeless speed, like arrows cast into primordial sky, as if launched from a battalion of ghostly archers. Each bolt finds its mark, the bloodstone secured at the center of the mystic's belt. Each piercing golden spear, like blind fingers crawling, reaches its final destination, its destiny. The sun begins to rise. The mystic dons a coat of varied leather patches sewn together like the map of an ancient world. A single pentagram of old tarnished metal looms around his neck, the ore of a mine crafted from a land and a time long since forgotten. In the unforgiving darkness, the mystic knows which path to take. He has walked it many times before. Forever under his arm he carries a book. Stained parchment, canvas and other materials are bound together by twine and cords of various colors. He holds it in both hands, open, reading from it in whispers as he walks carefully around a bend of a narrow mountain trail through the dense wilderness. A strange light collects itself within and around the bloodstone. It is his compass that she guides, through his feet back to her. Raising a flat palm to the densely fogged air, he walks into the mountainside, into the mountain itself. Further, through the dark, muddy surface, he is vanished. The sun continues to rise. No sight remains of him or the trail. A new day begins.